And Jared Rhoden, without their closer, Bryce Aiken, Rhoden went for 25 tonight. Seton Hall had 17 offensive rebounds. And that's kind of how the Seton Hall team needs to do it, especially against Xavier. Now, a big factor in this was Fremantle fouled out on a tee. He fouled out early, and you lose some of your interior toughness without Fremantle. He's, to me, the tough. Him and Scruggs make Xavier what they are. But this was not only a big win, and I'll start with you, RC, a big win for Seton Hall because of everything they've gone through this year. And we'll talk to Kevin Willard about it in a few minutes. But to me, again, you got to give yourself some momentum coming down the stretch right now if you're Seton Hall.
We've been relying on saying, hey, when this team gets Bryce Aiken back, like they're going to take a step. They're going to make a run. And for whatever reason, he just hadn't been able to get back. Yeah. Royden just put him on his back tonight. I mean, he carried him tonight. But I thought that foul in that situation, you can't even call it a foul with Fremantle going out with 13:39 or almost 14 minutes in the second half.
I didn't like it.
I understood it, didn't like it.
He stood over him, right?
To stood over him, and I get you maybe, but then for him to get 2 fouls in that, I you don't want to lose a player with in that type of situation, and it hurt him. Let's be honest. It would be, anybody losing a player like that for that stretch of game, for the rest of the game, and lose him for fouling out that was tough. But then again, in record wise, it doesn't matter. Seton Hall is not going to apologize for it, and fortunate for them, they got the win. But to go far, they're going to need Bryce back now,
Sweeney. Yep. They're both 6-6. I think they're tied for 6th in the league right now. The Big East, to me, you're probably looking at 6 or 7 teams, depending on Creighton, whether Creighton can get in. How worried are you about X? Because to me, Travis Steele, this is year 4 for him. He's got an older team. Nobody expected Paul Scruggs to come back for his super senior year. He did. To me, this team shouldn't be like floundering now. They should be, to me, like a clear-cut top 15 team. They got everything you need. They got shooters. They got 2 bigs. I almost wonder whether sometimes he tries to play those 2 bigs together too much, Nunji and Fremantle.
Yeah, their lineups don't have a lot of cohesion right now. Just kind of feels like I think because they got Nunji going so early in the season with Fremantle out, now they get Fremantle back in. They don't know how to work it out. Hunter was starting early in the year. He's now in a much reduced role. I think he only played 6 minutes today. They have a lot to figure out. They have not been good really for about a month now. I mean, I was at the game they played at DePaul. They were really unimpressive in that game about 3-4 weeks ago. They lost to DePaul on their home court this past weekend. They barely got by Butler at home last week. It's not pretty right now for Xavier. And I think part of it to me is Scruggs. Like I've never thought he's elevated as a guy who makes guys better, who takes over games when it matters. I thought he was good today, but there's something missing. And given the late season swoons we've seen in the past from these Travis Steele teams, I mean, last year, I think we gave everybody a pass because of COVID, and they had some severe COVID issues that really didn't allow them to play or build a rhythm. But I mean, look, at some point, they have not been a good basketball team for a month, and they better figure it out. They've got a tough stretch coming up. 3 of their next 4 against really good teams, UConn, 2 of those, and then Providence. If Seton Hall again after that. So, St. John's the only kind of light night, and that's not an easy night, right? I mean, St. John's is not a great team, but that's not an easy 40 minutes to play. So, they've got some stuff to figure out. They're gonna go to the NCAA tournament, but they better clean some stuff up.
Well, the question is, are they going to go to the tournament and be that team that everybody wants to play? Because you've lost your swagger, you've lost your confidence, you barely got in. Maybe you're a first 4. I mean, listen, crazier things that have happened at this point. I wouldn't want to play them, but again, I was so high on them earlier, RC, and now I don't want to say I've given up on them. But I have no confidence in Xavier anymore. None.
They're not playing their best basketball right now, but hell, coming into the night, they still were the 25th ranked team in the country coming into this game, right? So they're a victim of our expectations because what we think they should be, and they're kind of just showing us who they are. I don't think they're the team that we've seen the last month or the last 2 to 3 weeks, but what's going to happen? will Bryce make it back before the end of the year? Even if he's just a rotational piece, like will he
Seton
come
Hall.
back and help them for Seton Hall? Like if Bryce Aiken comes back, like that's the key to them. Like they're not going anywhere deep without him. Right, wrong, or indifferent. If he doesn't get back and get playing in that lineup, they're just not going to be that team that go as far as we all think their talent should have let them be.
All right. Well, listen, we'll get to Seton Hall head coach Kevin Willard, fresh off the huge win against Xavier, who joins us now on the Field of 68's After Dark. All right, now pleased to be joined by Seton Hall head coach Kevin Willard. And listen, if you had any hair left on your head, you probably would have lost it after the final 30 seconds. It seemed like an eternity. I don't know what it was like for you, but it was kind of painful at the end there.
Yeah, give Xavier credit, Jeff. I mean, we got up 5, we got up 6, and Scruggs was phenomenal. He attacked the rim. And we missed 3 out of 5 free throws that gave them a chance to get back. And they battled, man. But I was proud of my kids. They really battled hard, and just a good old Big East battle, to be honest with you.
How important was that win, Kevin? I mean, when I last saw you, you're coming off a 17-day pause at the end of December. You're now 6-6 since then, but it's been kind of up and down. How big was this win tonight?
Yeah, it was huge. I mean, to get back to 500 was huge because, we talked in Providence. I said, we're going to play at Providence and Villanova home with 7 guys coming off a 17-day pause. I mean, we were giving the first 2 games away, technically. We played without Ike and without Tyrese Samuels against 2 of the most physical teams. So to fight back and not have Bryce Aiken for the last 6 games, just shows you, where we are and how good of a team we really are.
How about your defense? I mean, obviously in January, there were times where you didn't defend at the level you did. And obviously I think part of that was no Ike and no Samuel, but it feels like you guys have turned the corner on that side of the ball, particularly the last few games.
Yeah, Kev. I mean, I think the biggest thing for us, the first 2 weeks of January, we were just trying to, piecemeal a roster together, put guys out there. And then I think, once we got Ike back and Tyrese back into a good rhythm, I think our defense was able to be a little bit more aggressive. Ike is one of the best shot blockers in the country. And Tyrese Samuel's now giving us huge offensive minutes. So to get our full roster back and to have time to practice has been huge.
So I know you follow me on Twitter on your burner account. Okay. I know you do. I don't need you to admit it, but I know you do. So if you do, I'm not the biggest analytics guy, but I try to check out all of them, right? I'm a huge KPI guy now. Huge. They've got like Providence 3, Wisconsin 4. Some of the other ones have like Providence down at 42. I don't quite get it. What is your metric of choice now, Kevin?
Man, that's a good question. Jeff, I'll be honest with you. I'm not huge on all the metrics. Now, I do use KenPom a lot. I think I heard Sean Miller saying that he used to wake up in the middle of the night and, no offense, if I'm waking up in the middle of the night, I'm turning on the TV.
You're not checking KenPom? Come on.
There's no way I'm checking KenPom at 2 a.m. But I use KenPom because I think there's a lot of stuff about the offensive and defensive stuff in conference was huge. But I'm more of an old school. I learned from Jim O'Brien way back in the day. Watch a lot of film and break it down and kind of, use your eyes in the old school basketball way of breaking down defense.
I'm going to tell you just so you can figure out which one you like right now. They're all close. KPI, you're 36. The net, you're 35. Sagarin, you're 27. KenPom, you're 36. I'm sorry. KPI, you're 37. BPI, Kevin, you're 31. So right now, you are a huge BPI guy.
And I like Sagarin at 27. I love them too. No,
right.
I mean, Jeff, I've been, we played a really tough non-conference schedule. I mean, we played Texas, Rutgers, Ohio State, Cal, and somebody else. And we were 9-1. My job is to remind everybody that, we were a really good team and we had a really bad break with COVID. And I like the fact that we're getting back to where we were pre-COVID, and our guys are in a good rhythm. And I think we're playing really good basketball.
Obviously, Jared Rhoden's been your guys' top scorer, but it felt like Bryce Aiken's really been your finisher in a lot of big games. And with him out, it felt like Rhoden had to step up today. What did you see from him, and what did you see the last few games from him trying to help you guys close out wins?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, Kevin, is Jared's back. I think COVID kind of took him a little bit out of a rhythm, and it took us out of an offensive rhythm where the shots he was getting in December and November, we couldn't get those shots for him. And he's worked really hard over the last really 3 weeks to try to just simplify his game and get his game back to where it was in December. And, he's starting to round into that all Big East performer, because I think he's just gotten back into a really good rhythm.
Hey, Sweeney, take a guess, the over-under on how many cups of coffee Willard averages per day.
Oh, man. 3.5.
Oh, tell him, Kevin.
That's 3.5 before 6 a.m. I've actually, be honest with you, Jeff, I've tried to cut it down a little bit. I'm probably like 7 or 8. I love coffee. I think you drink your brand.
No, here's what I got for you tonight. Look.
Fanta.
In honor of the greatest Seton Hall alum. Has he actually gotten his degree? I want to know that.
So I think it's one reason he hasn't got more games on Fox. I've been trying to. I don't think he ever did. He never went to class. And I'm not, Jeff. I'm not BSing with you. That kid would stay up all night outside the gym, and he would do his spot ups, and he would practice. You shouldn't be drinking soda, though. It's one of the worst things for you. But he is one of the best kids in the world.
Awesome. Well, listen. Congrats on the win. Go have some wine. No more coffee tonight. You're cut off.
I am cut off. I appreciate it, Jeff. Good to talk to you, my man.